Welcome to Digital Transformation in Government, sponsored by Verizon Enterprise Solutions on federalnewsradio.com and 1500 AM. I'm your host, Jason Fornicola, and my guests today are George Fisher, Senior Vice President of Verizon's Global Sales, and Mike Majorana, Senior Vice President of Verizon's Public Sector Sales. Gentlemen, welcome to the program today.
Thank you.
George, let's start with you. How would you characterize the evolving technology landscape?
Well, today we're right in the middle of an explosive trend around network-reliant applications. The ability for people everywhere to get information almost instantly is driving a revolution in how technology is used and how people use it for their daily lives, both across business and governments.
And Mike, from your perspective, how is this impacting government and how the government delivers services to its customers?
So if you think about Verizon, IP-based network, a wireless-based network, government is trying to ultimately deliver services out to their constituents, deliver a greater level of service, deliver a greater level of efficiency within their confined budgets, really leveraging the solutions that Verizon can bring to bear to basically make their agencies more effective, make them more productive and more beneficial to the communities they serve.
George, you mentioned the technology is delivering things instantly. How does that change how you go about your work and the way that you're servicing your customers?
Well, it's not just millennials that have a huge expectation for being able to get information quickly. You look almost everywhere, people's expectation because of network-based applications, whether it's through a mobile phone or it's the internet at home, everyone's way of doing business is changing. So because of that, applications need to be working well over networks, so the performance has to be great. They also have to be less expensive, and they certainly need to be secure. So that's driving how people build applications and how they use them. So the speed and rate and pace of change of technology continues to scale. At the same time, people are looking for ways to get economics and better performance and spend less money, but are racing against the fact that people look for extreme convenience, and particularly in the government and around the world, globally. The public wants to get information and be able to access and connect with the government or with a corporation in a way that's almost instant.
If you think about the mission-critical work that government is ultimately delivering to a military veteran or spouse, think of how DoD in particular needs to transmit information for their military operations. From DoD, Homeland Security, public safety, even education, the information sharing, the speed of the information sharing, the reliability is critical in government.
Everyone needs it faster and cheaper, right?
And reliable and secure and trusted, and from a provider that they know can ultimately deliver it.
Yeah, and it's not exactly a new trend. What's happening is it's maturing and it's becoming completely pervasive. And it will, we see a great future in the ability to both create new revenue models, certainly to create opportunities for cost savings, and an ability to reduce risk with applications and services. So it's a fantastic time to be in technology, and it's certainly a fantastic time to be in the network business.
In terms of some of these major technology trends that we're seeing, what are your thoughts, George, on the growth of global IP traffic?
Well, obviously it's scaling. The ability, it wasn't very long ago that you could travel around the world and have difficulty connecting with a cell phone. In your own studio, you have a picture of, during Iraq, a very large satellite device, which today would probably be a cell phone. So the speed and rate and capability to communicate globally is accelerating.
Video collaboration, the ability to transmit images, the movement to the cloud and hosting applications in the cloud and sharing that across multiple data centers is causing an exponential increase in demand for IP.
And certainly, whether it's cloud or the network itself, it's creating a new economic model so that applications can be developed faster, most likely less expensively, and so the rate and pace of change based on those economic factors and the barriers that are broken down by the new technology delivery platforms are allowing people to just move a lot faster.
That's a great point. And we see obviously in the federal government in particular decreasing budgets but increased demands. How can cloud help solve those challenges?
Moving from a pay upfront to a pay-as-you-go model, it has a service model, whether it be cloud voice like a UC solution or hosting a critical application workload in a commercial FedRAMP compliant cloud. You see government taking a metered use, if you would, paying for what they need.
And how do you feel that is in terms of serving their best interests? Is that the best way to go, do you believe, for them?
I think ultimately they need in government to establish more shared services model with trusted providers like Verizon, who have the capabilities credentialed like FedRAMP to basically be that host for them and allow them to do their government work and carry out their government mission. Let the professionals that understand this technology and how to implement it and how to service it take the lead.
Yeah, that kind of specialization not only is an economic model, but it allows for scalable, quality platforms that are really hard to recreate. So the capability of having a large cloud network or converged compute environment means that your quality and safety is very much higher than it would be if you were just trying to do it on a small scale. So that's working to the advantage of many smaller, either communities, small businesses, or smaller sized governments that are taking advantage of technology that wouldn't otherwise be available with their own economic model.
Shifting gears here before we take a break, as it relates to the Internet of Things, George, do you think there's a real opportunity there?
It's an enormous opportunity, and it's kind of the backdrop of the continuation of the pervasiveness of the network and the capability for IP addressing. But you look all over the place, whether it's controlling machines or in the case of monitoring medical equipment or cars. Every day you're hearing a news story about the opportunity to get better insight in how our machines and how we're interacting together. There's been some fantastic efforts with utilities, smart cities, et cetera, where we're getting real economic gain from being able to understand how, at a very granular level, how devices or processes work. So it's not just a trend, it's something that's here to stay, and it's going to continue to be an important part of our life and will provide human convenience and economic advantage.
Mike, your thoughts?
Fleet management, vehicle diagnostics, smart buildings, in addition to, as a subset, to smart cities. You think of the pervasive wireless network, the reliability of a 4G LTE signal, the embedding of modules into just about anything with a reliable network is giving terrific efficiency to government.
Yeah. It's gone well past a soda machine being emptied and notified, right? So it's a very sophisticated embedded technology at the connector level that's providing information that wasn't available before. So reliability, safety, and speed. And it kind of goes back to that earlier point you were making. What's the big change? What the change is the rate and pace and capability that networking is building.
So much happening so quickly.
Real time. Yeah.
We're going to pause here for a short break. My guests today are George Fisher, Senior Vice President of Verizon's Global Sales, and Mike Majorana, Senior Vice President of Verizon's Public Sector Sales, on digital transformation in government, sponsored by Verizon Enterprise Solutions. I'm your host, Jason Fornicola, and you're listening to FederalNewsRadio.com and 1500 AM.